3:37 in the morning. It's a Sunday morning. Hi. What in the world am I doing up at 3:30 in the morning? Well, I couldn't sleep and I thought, I'm getting up. I'm tired of this. I'm just laying there thinking. So I just put on my meditation tape, meditated, got going, put my bed away. I got the big hair today. You know what I do? Okay, girls, maybe guys too. Some of you have long hair. I've seen some of you older guys too. You got the ponytail going on in the back. Well, what I do is, before I go to sleep, I bring my hair up and I just bun it and put a couple pins in it. And that's the way I sleep. I'm trying to protect my hair. So this is how it came out. What do you think? It's so 80s, isn't it? Got the thing going back. Yeah, this is an 80s look, girls and guys. Remember the guys in the 80s? They had big hair too. Well, I am a chitter chatter in the morning. So many of you have said, I love your coffee chats in the morning, Lee. So I haven't done one in a while. I've done afternoon chats and I've offered coffee, but this is an official coffee chat. Got my stove ready. I haven't made it yet. Well, if you're new here, I'm Minivan Lee, and I live in my minivan, and I have for quite a while. I always say it, but so how many years? 6. I've lived in my minivan for 6 years. I will put, let me set the scene here. The wind is really howling out there. That's what happens in Arizona. It just does. I mean, even in Quartzsite, people say, oh, in Quartzsite, it's so windy. Well, it's windy in Tucson, too, because I know it's only mid-February. Only a third of it's gone now. But for Arizona, for southern Tucson, or southern Arizona, I mean, spring is right around the corner. Give about 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks, and it's going to really start warming up. Not to 100 yet. That doesn't happen till around May. But that's even around the corner, so the wind is howling out there. It's kind of cool. I'm parked in a parking lot. I'm parked in a Walmart parking lot on the east side of town. And there's a lot of, it's a private parking lot. It's not shared by anybody else. So there's a lot of RVs out here. And do I feel safe? Yeah. I also want to set up the tone. I've been traveling solo for a week now. Paul is off doing his own thing. He got kind of tired of being here. And so I've been alone. But, you know, I have some of you say, you're so lucky that you travel with Paul. He's a travel partner of mine. And you say, well, it's really, I'm glad that you're safe traveling with Paul. I have traveled solo for years. I've only traveled with Paul about 1.5 years now. And that's not even every single day. He likes to go off and do his own thing, and so do I. So, you know, we get apart from each other. But yeah, don't be afraid, girls. A lot of you are gals that say that. Don't be afraid. I mean, I think it's safer in a van than in a house. I remember living in a house. There were all kinds of windows somebody could have broke into. Here, it's just, I can, if something goes down, I can hop in my minivan and drive away in like 99% of the cases, unless somebody's got me hounded in, backed in, or blocked in, you know, to do dastardly deeds or something. But I don't anticipate that. I anticipate good outcomes in life. And that's just my philosophy. So let's get going with some coffee. I've been, like I said, I've been traveling alone for the past week. And, oops, it's stuck. There we go. I know, I'm a chitter chatter in the morning. I really am. Let me get this set up. My stove, you've seen it before. I don't want to move the camera back and forth and back and forth. This is like my little couch area. Hello. Okay, put my butane in. I've been stashing up butane. I've got about 15 of them stashed in my overflow bin here. Or no. Yeah, it's in there. No, it's in here. Sorry. Like, what do you care, right? But I just, that's one thing when, remember, about 2 weeks ago, I switched everything around and kind of reorganized so that I could make more room. Well, what happens is, it's like, what did I do with that? When you start switching things around, then it's like you got to put up with trying to remember, what did you do with that properly? Okay, here's my coffee drawer. I have everything right here in my coffee drawer. That way there's tea in here too, but, and I'm going to make you coffee or tea, whichever you prefer. I've got a drip method, and I know that you don't have to use a filter with this, but I do, because otherwise I got to dump it, then I got to wash this out. But with using one of these, I just lift it up and throw it away. No big deal. No big whoop, as I say. No big whoop. Let's see. I use these. I would use the cone ones, but every time I've bought those, they rip at the bottom. I don't know why. Paul can use them and they don't. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I don't mind these. I just push it in and I use my finger right in the middle, push it down, and then just kind of bend it over, and it works just great. Yeah, there we go. See, once I put coffee grounds in there, it just goes to the bottom. No big deal. And I think these are cheaper too. Walmart special, I think it's like $5 now. Everything goes up in price, so who knows what this is now. But I've had this a long time. I only use this for water. Got my water. I use Arizona jugs that Arizona tea came in. They're really strong. And I fill them up at Walmart for 29 cents a gallon. I carry 7 gallons with me. 7 gallons of water at a time. We go, gonna get that going. What else we got in here in my bag of tricks? This is coffee. I just put it in a Ziploc bag. And what I've been enjoying is Starbucks coffee. Get it at Walmart. A pound bag of the breakfast blend. It's got like, what is it? It's like orange and pecan or something. It's a flavor, little bit of a hint of it. And I really like it. It's a breakfast blend. There we go. I just use 1 scoop, goes in. I use 2 creamers, half and half. Land O'Lakes, half and half. Now, what I do is I drink every morning. I drink Emergency. I have a little cup here, little cup for this, and I put this in here. But I'm not going to do this right away because I don't think you want to watch me drink my Emergency. But I'll put it here for later. There we go. And I do put, I don't have a lot in here left. I do use Coffee Mate just a little bit, chocolate cream. This is the one guilty pleasure that I have. I mentioned before that Paul and I, since Christmas, were like drinking, or not drinking, but eating this candy. We got started with the Seas candy. And we went in there before Christmas and built our own box. Oh my gosh. We were eating chocolate before that, and then that really started the big one, and I was just eating candy. I would go over and go, "What do you want, little girl?" I go, "Can I have some candy?" Because if I kept it in here, oh no, it would never make it. I could not ever keep candy in my own van because I'd be here at night and it would just be calling my name. So we kept it in his, and I would go over there and go, well, can I have a couple of pieces of candy? So, but no more candy. No more candy, no more sweets. Probably the sweetest, and this is really the only thing that, and I really would like to kind of nits this also, but I think I really love it. I know. It's it's hard. When you get used to something, you really like something, it's not the best for you. It's hard to give it up. Maybe if I knew it wasn't bad for me, maybe I wouldn't mind it. But the only other sweet thing that I even am eating right now is an apple a day. So, yeah. Okay, well, we got some things to discuss here, don't we? Let me get this ready for us. Can you hear that wind? Well, I do have, this window is always cracked, so I can really hear it out there. And the reason that it's a pop-out window, this is a Kia Sedona 2014, and what happens is I've got solar on my roof. And I have the solar extension cord, the MC4 cord. It comes through the cracked window. So it never really can close all the way. I've got it coming through, and I've got the cords here. Well, you can't see them. I've got them coming through. They're along the floor, and then the solar plug goes into my jackery up there. So I really can hear more. And some of you would ask me, well, when you cook, do you have to crack open a window? It is good that you crack your window just a little bit when you're using butane or propane. But mine is always cracked. So it's cracked about this much all around the edge. But if you don't have this going on, here's what I suggest. You take one window, maybe a side window or front window, crack it you don't have to crack it very large at all, because you consider you got the area, the mass area. If you've got a window this big and you got a crack, you've got a big area opened up. Okay, my water is boiling here. I just go slow. There we go. Pour over. Ooh, my brew. This is our brew. But you could see the little bit of time that I use butane. I don't think it's a big deal. If you were gonna cook for a long time, oh yeah. Like you were gonna steam vegetables or boil something, you'd want to crack it. Or what you'd want to crack it for is if you're using a Mr. Buddy with your propane. Yeah, you do want to crack it just a little bit. And then you've got even the side windows. My side windows are this length or width. So you got all that line going across there. So you get it. You get it, don't you? Yeah. I had another interesting question, and I thought it was a very legitimate question. This takes a little while to drip. We'll take our time with it. There we go. You asked me if it is what was your name? Oh, I didn't write your name down. I'm sorry, but you know who you are. Is it safe to boondock out in the desert when there are cartel out there, or groups of illegal, I know that's not the proper word, undocumented citizens? I don't know what the proper political word is, but anyways, there are Mexicans who have come across the border and they're not registered as citizens, okay, or didn't register to become a citizen. Whatever the political name of that group of people is, Well, they're humans, okay. But, and I don't get political. I've got my own ideas on it, but I don't get political. Somebody had mentioned, on a side note, they said, well, I understand. She goes, I enjoy your videos, and I know that we're not the same politically, but I still like, and I thought, I don't really talk politics. I really don't. I could be, I mean, how could you tell? I mean, there are specifics on the right and specifics on the left, if you really want to get technical. But I'm all over the place, so how would you even know what my leanings are? So I don't get political, but I mean, I am a realist, and yes, there are a lot of people coming across the border from Mexico, and they're just walking in without registering their names and things. So, and I'm from Arizona. I've lived in Arizona for 40 years, so I do know, back to the question, I do know that out in the desert, there are groups of people, because of what they left behind. There are groups of people that they are almost positive. They're people that have come across the border. They're hanging out in the desert and then moving on, but they've left a lot of trash. They're just leaving trash around in the desert. And yes, you do have cartel. You have videos of military people in military garb bringing canisters across the border in the middle of the night. So, I mean, there's proof that there's things coming across. Is it dangerous to be out in the desert? Your question was when there's cartel out in the desert, living and hiding out. Well, let's see. Oh, I think let me get rid of this. I wouldn't, not when there's nobody else around. It really depends on the area, but there's some canyon parks, Bear Canyon, near Tucson, way out. I mean, no, I wouldn't go out there by myself, no, or even with a couple of people, maybe with a caravan. I stick to usual places, whether they be campgrounds or very popular BLM, things like that when I boondock. But I do like campgrounds. So, I mean, because of that, yeah, it can be dangerous. I mean, you just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's my opinion. If you have a different opinion, you can leave it down in the comments, and I won't care, because you might know something more than I do. You know, you might have a better idea of it, because I don't go out there. I don't venture out in areas where I know that I might be sorry that I'm there. Here's how I feel about this whole van life, living in your vehicle kind of thing. For me personally, I enjoy being in an urban area, as you all know. Not 24/7, 365 days out of the year, no. But for the most part, I do. I feel safer. Just because I live in a vehicle doesn't mean I have to go live out in the mountains. I don't do it that way. I do it my way. I'm like Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. Yeah. And I always encourage you all to realize, you're adults, you know, what do you like? I mean, what's your preference? Experiment a little bit to find out if you don't know what your preference is. I like to live in the city. I like to do things in the city. And I like to go out. Well, what do you like to do? What do you want to do? If you love to be out, only out boondocking, out away from the crowd, the people, the stores, things like that, and you like to be out more in the wild, go for it. I think that's great. But that is a factor. That was a good question. That probably is a factor in all of the southern Arizona, maybe all of Arizona, and New Mexico, and Texas. That wind is really fierce out there. I can really hear it. And actually my van just a little bit shakes us a little bit. Well, here we go, everybody. got your coffee or tea, whichever you prefer. Yeah. Cheers. Oh, yummo. Yes. Do the little coffee dance. I love my coffee. First thing in the morning, that first sip, it's wild. It's wild, I tell you. Okay, let me get this. What I do then, let's give a little spray, vinegar water. Just wipe it down. Try to keep things clean. And I'm going to put away my stove. I always make sure this lid goes on it. The way that the butane comes out is it gets depressed. You push down on it and it releases. You don't ever want to put it away without this and then have it release into your living area. Okay, my thing. One thing about the new iOS 16 is my phones keep closing all the time, and then it's either, yeah. Sometimes they're sideways and they can't see my face. For some reason, the sideways Face ID doesn't work. If my phone is sideways and my face is here, Okay, stove. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I want to get comfortable here. Yeah. Drink some coffee. Okay. I want to answer some questions. Bathsheba asked me quite a bit of questions. She was very curious. Hey, Bathsheba. Bathsheba. We know who she is in the Bible. She asked, is my van stationary in Tucson? Well, no. I mean, no. I drive around. That stationary would mean that it's just parked and that's it. No, I drive around just like anybody else. I go to the store, I drive to the park, I go to the post office. Where else do I go? Maybe go somewhere and have coffee. Yeah. So no, it's not stationary. Where do I go all day? Well, okay, I just mentioned. I go to the gym. I go work out. Go to the store. I go to parks. Sometimes I go to the cinema. What do I do all day? Sometimes I just sit in my van. You've seen me record in my van quite a bit this winter. It's because it's really cold out there and the wind is blowing and and to get proper lighting out there. I spend a lot of time in my van. That's why I've made my van to be comfortable for myself. I like it to look nice. Yeah, let's get my little flower out here. There we go. Yeah, that's why I like things to look nice. A little puppy. I know. He doesn't shed. He's real easy to take care of, too. Yeah. I've had him ever since I started. I've got colored fairy lights and I did a lot of cleanup, reorganizing so that I can feel more comfortable, more relaxed in here without feeling like things are closing in on me. What else did she? Do I have storage units with heirlooms? No, I don't. I gave everything away. I took the time to ask my children what they wanted, what each one wanted. And so, no, everything's been given away already. My children are going to have it easy if I pass away. All paperwork is very minimal. Paperwork is minimal. I only have the very basics. I did have a large file cabinet with I was saving a lot of things from my children. Every once in a while I come across like one of the report cards. Well, I made files for each of my children. I'd stick it in their file. and letters they wrote me. I remember one was like, Mom, I'm so sorry that I was really snotty to you last night, and this is why, but I don't want to do it again. I don't want to upset you. Just little letters like that. Or just they would leave me letters, little notes, things that they drew when they're younger. So they each had a file. Each file was about, well, it wasn't a lot, but each one had kind of a thick file. You don't want to save some parents save every little thing. I never did that, but when I felt it was important. So no, I did not. I gave all my jewelry away and to them, my family, and because I didn't want to travel with a lot of really nice jewelry. And what else? Well, I'm an artist. I am. Oil paintings and drawings and charcoal drawings. I've shown some of them before. And I've made sure that they're all safe with my children. Just, things like that. Furniture that was in our family for a long time, they got dispersed. And, of course, I had a full functioning kitchen. All the things, maybe they'll become heirlooms, I don't know. But I had a large set of cast iron, really nice, that I seasoned myself, took the time to season. So one of my children have all that. Yeah, all that stuff, the heirloom stuff. But no, I don't store that. I gave it away. The only storage I have was recently procured, and Paul and I am sharing the cost of that. And we got it because we wanted to put some extra food in there just in case. Now, when we move to another area, another complete area in the country, we'll take it with us and we'll get a storage unit there and take it out of our vans and put it in there. So, yeah, we want to have, some survival stuff. So, yeah. What else did you say? How do I stay warm at night? Well, I never am cold at night, ever. Well, I have a minus Fahrenheit, minus 25 sleeping bag. I will tell you, the sleeping bag, the rating of that means that at minus 25 degrees, I won't die. Am I going to be comfortable? Probably not, but I won't die. So, got coffee burps going on already. Cheers. Cheers to coffee burps, right? But the only time I've ever crawled into my sleeping bag was in Ohio, and it was 17 degrees, and I had to get inside of it to be comfortable. But to comfortable temperature-wise. But I don't like sleeping in a sleeping bag. I can't move around well. It drives me crazy. So, but I have under here, I have wool blanket and a wool blanket, 2 wool blankets, a Sherpa blanket. When I'm under all 3 of those, wow, totally warm. Now, if it got to the point where I was feeling a little chilly with that, I might put on some fleece pants. I would have fleece up here, but I would put fleece. But that's how I stay warm at night. Now, when I wake up, I will turn on and it's really cold in here, I will turn on my car, my minivan, and run it for it only takes about 4 minutes, and then I turn on the heat just to get it warmed up in here. But I also have a Mr. Buddy heater, okay? It's a little buddy heater. It's a little one, and uses the green propane tanks, and that's how I use that, yeah. What else did you say? Why didn't I buy a home? Oh, well, you mean as I was growing up, I didn't have the wherewith to do that. So, yeah. My family, I left Ohio when I was about 23, 24 years old, right? Well, I was sort of like, one of those, go west, young lady. Yeah, my husband and I, we moved out here. So our families were back in Ohio. We sort of just started our own clan out here and made our own homestead going on out here. Well, we just rented, and then my husband was in a car accident, and I was a single mom. I just never And you know what? Let me just mention this. I'm glad I did it, especially in Tucson. Oh my gosh. I've seen neighbors fall apart like that. And then you own a home, the value goes down. In Arizona, I don't think it would have to be in a really, maybe in Flagstaff I would, maybe, but in Tucson, you get into really nice neighborhoods, very solid, nice neighborhoods, you're going to spend almost $1 million on the home. Seriously. It's very expensive to buy a home, in a nice neighborhood in Tucson. It just is. And then, don't police hassle me. Absolutely not. Why would a policeman hassle me? No. I'm not doing anything wrong. A lot of people assume that, well, you're going to get hassled. Why would I get hassled? I'm a normal person. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not doing anything illegal. Can I park in a parking lot? Well, if they don't want me to, all they do is knock on my window and tell me I have to move. I don't consider that hassling me. And if I'm parked in a neighborhood, I have the right, as long as there's no parking sign up there that says no parking. If there's a parking sign that says you can't park between certain whatever, then just obey the sign. But if there's no sign, I can park there. I'm in a minivan. I can see if there was a Class A pulling up in front in a residential area in front of somebody's houses. Yeah, they'd be like, whoa. But I don't know if it's illegal. But yeah, you might get hassled a little bit. But why? There's the thing that a lot of people assume that it's illegal or I'm doing something wrong because I'm living in my minivan. No, I'm not. And a lot of people say, well, you're not supposed to, it's illegal in my state or my town that not live. Well, yeah, if you're going to be living in a RV and you're just parking it somewhere weird, yeah. But please have a lot more going on than hassling me because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not carrying drugs. I'm not an alcoholic drinking and driving. I'm not making messes. I'm not a thief. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just, I live in my minivan. And what's so wrong with that, right? I know. Well, yeah, I've been enjoying just, I did get a little bit more done. I think it's not so much that Paul and I do so much. We go to restaurants, we go to parks, I go and we chit chat. We go sit at the picnic bench and we chit chat. And, but we do things together, but not as much as people might think that we do. We travel together and we look out for each other when we are together. When we're not, we look out for ourselves. And that's totally a doable thing. I don't mind it at all. Sometimes I do get more done only because if I'm going to go somewhere, I'll say, well, are you going to go? Well, yeah. And then we wait for each other to wait for him. Well, if I'm just here alone, I'm not waiting for anybody. When I'm ready to go, I hop in my van and I go. And I go do what I need to do. And, but it's fun traveling. Yeah, I miss you, Paul. Shout out to Paul. And, I miss him a lot, but, it's good. I think in a relationship, I think it's good, especially at our age. It's not like we're going to have children and blah, blah, blah. We're going to get married and have kids and everything. No, we're older. We're more independent minded. And especially me spending 25 years, even without dating in my life, as I was raising my children after my husband passed. 25 years alone, right? And I have a video on it. I'll leave the link for it. It's called 25 Years Alone. I think it's about 3 weeks ago. I put that out. I'm very independent minded. So I do enjoy spending time by myself. And some of you have mentioned, well, I want a relationship like that. I want to find somebody like that. If that's what you want, guess what? You will. They're out there. There are guys out there that would love to travel with you. As long as you, I heard this. If you want to have a relationship with somebody, write down all the qualities you would like that person to have. Write them all down, read them over, look at them, and then go be it. Go be whatever. You be what that list is. You will attract, a like-minded people attract each other. And I think when Paul and I met, we were very similar. And very different, but also similar. And I think that it was a good exchange of skills and mindset. He's got a good mind. He's got good mindset and his skills, and they match up with mine. He compliments me, and obviously I compliment him. And it's a good working relationship, and we're comfortable enough to be apart for a while. So, but if you're looking for that, just put it out there, pray about it. Put it out there into the quantum field and say, this is what I want. Vision yourself traveling with somebody you care for and that cares for you. And it will appear at the right time, at the right place. It'll be perfect for you. So, well, coffee. Let's have another sip. Oh, yeah. I am just so chitty chatty, and I'm a morning person. I just am a morning person. That's the way it is. I've always been that way. When I was little, I would follow my mother around first thing in the morning and just chatter like, oh, I dreamt about this, and then this happened, and what are we going to do today, and this is what I want to wear today. And she would just let me chitter chatter. She didn't say too much, but she didn't say, like some parents might say, would you just be quiet? Go away, I'm busy. She never did that. She just let me be who I was. And so I thank her for that. She's no longer with us. But okay, everybody, I want you to go out and have a really good day today. No matter when you're watching this video, this message is for you whenever. Love you, and good things are coming your way. Good things are coming my way. Good outcomes will always manifest for us, and they will manifest for you. Think positive. Only good outcomes. Don't look for bad things to happen. Always think about that everything is going to turn out okay. As Paul says, let me see if I can say it. Every little thing going to be okay. No, every little thing going to be all right. I know, Bob Marley thing, yes. Well, every little thing going to be all right. Did I say that right? See you soon, Paul. Okay. I got neck gaiters. Yes, and you're go on minivanlee.com, okay? And the supply is going down. Supply's going down, and I've got the big sunglasses, and I only have a few left of those. So, and I've got the book, How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Lee Way. That's essential. That's an essential book if you're going to get started, or you know somebody who will, or you're even thinking about it, or it's just good reading for minivans, RVs, SUVs, whatever, and get you from A to Z, from beginning. I even start out, this is what you need to think about, and you need to go get yourself a notebook and a pen and write down and keep it on your desk or your kitchen counter, and every time you think about these things, and I've got list upon list upon list of organizing yourself, what to do with your things, what to think about with what your domicile is going to end up being, because that's very important, and everything. So, and all the way to driving away and where to park once you're out there, things like that. Yeah, it's the best nomad book out there, van dwelling book on the market. And I'm not kidding. I'm bragging, I know, but I'm not kidding. I love you guys. So, bye everybody. Have a great day.